Meet Abayomi Adewunmi, a seasoned business development consultant with a wealth of experience working with small and medium-sized enterprises. He is a fellow of the Institute of Management Consultants and a certified management consultant with the International Council of Management Consulting Institutes. As the founder of Managing Director of Global Leadership Institute, a management consulting firm with a global presence, Abayomi is dedicated to helping businesses reach their full potential. Is the convener of Leadership Roundtable Summit that has reached more than a 10,000 global audience since inception in 2016. Abayomi's expertise and dedication to enterprise development have earned him several recognitions and driven him to acquire knowledge at prestigious institutions such as the Lagos Business School, Africa Management Initiative Kenya, and Bocconi University in Milan. Abayomi's deep understanding of business models and processes allows him to help clients increase profitability. He currently serves in advisory positions for businesses in various sectors such as FMCG, agriculture, technology, health, entertainment, and NGOs. In his free time, he enjoys reading, public speaking, and networking. He frequently blogs on topics related to enterprise development and leadership. So with Jesus' joy in our heart, please let's welcome Mr. Abayomi Adewunmi.
Good afternoon, everyone. Powerful event so far. Big appreciation to the organizers of this event. It's not easy putting together an event. I can say that because we just concluded our event last month in Lagos, and it was very challenging. But who has been blessed so far? Fantastic. It's fantastic that we've been fed the food of the Spirit. So what we want to do now is much more practical and focused on business. How many of us are own businesses here? Everybody's an entrepreneur in Nigeria now. How many of us want to own our businesses? You don't own yet, but you want to own. How many of us want to work? You just want to run a career. You don't want to work. How many of us? Fantastic. So let me start from there. Funny enough, I have a fantastic slide here, but I have just 30 minutes I want to spend with us. Take as much as you can as much as you take, as much as possible. When we talk about entrepreneurship, a lot of people are running businesses. I understand that the economic situation of the country has made it imperative for everybody to now want to run a business. And it has affected our employee culture. So you see that a lot of people just they start working in a place 6 months, straight out of school. I want to run my team. I want to run my business. I want to be my boss. Fire your boss. Now, but what a lot of people don't know is running a business is actually for the crazy people. It sounds counterproductive to tell you that, but I think with over a decade of running my business or businesses, I can easily tell you that only crazy people decide to leave the comfort of career, of working in a place, earning salary, growing through the ranks, and say, you know what, I want to venture out and run a business. Now, because not many people understand it, we have a whole lot of people I call accidental entrepreneurs. Who are accidental entrepreneurs? I've looked for a job for 3 years after school. I couldn't get a job. Then somebody told me that, why don't you run a business? You know what, if you put shoes together, you can start selling. You don't even need to own the shoe store. You just start taking pictures from the sellers, and you put it on your status, drop shipping. Instantly, that person becomes a CEO. CEO what? Fantastic. So I tell people nowadays, it doesn't cost much to become a CEO. open an Instagram account, open a Facebook account, run a business card, 5,000 naira, and you're a CEO. Now, but what exactly does it mean to run a business? What exactly does it mean to be an entrepreneur? It's beyond trading. And I try to make this difference very clear a lot of time to people. Maybe by the end of it all, you'll be able to make informed decisions. Now, am I saying don't be an entrepreneur? Hell no. Am I saying spend all your life working for someone? Definite no. But I'm saying that it is only sensible enough that if you're going to make a decision, you have the right information about all your options. Who is with me? Are you with me? I hope I'm not complicating anything. If you're going to make a decision, you need to understand your options. So, but a lot of people don't understand options in Nigeria now, and everybody wants to become an entrepreneur. So you start seeing a whole lot of frustrated people out there. As I've been doing this thing for 6 months, I've not gotten a single sales. You can't get a single sales because you don't even have passion for what you are doing. What you are doing essentially is just to make ends meet. Because running business is like running systems. And if you don't master how to run the system is going to run you down. If you open WhatsApp, now WhatsApp is like Ọjà Tuntun. How many of us know Ọjà Tuntun? New market. Once you go on stories like this of everybody, it's like everybody is selling something. The person you want to sell to also wants to sell to you. So it becomes a trade-off. If you buy from me, I will buy from you. Then you see everywhere nowadays, after they've posted 3 flyers of what they are doing, or 3 images or 5 images, you see, if you are my friend and you don't patronize me, is that a friend? The next thing, the families are not the one that will always support you. External people will support you. No fake life, no fake friends in this zone. Once I see that on status of people, I understand that something is wrong. Sales are not coming in. And it's because we do what we call bedroom economics when we want to start our businesses. Okay, how many people reside in Asherifa or Damiko area? Damiko is a new one now, right? Asherifa used to be it when I was in Ife back then. But now it's Damiko, right? How many people stay in Damiko? Estimate maybe 100,000 people. What do people eat every day? Bread. If I start selling bread, I'll make money. I don't need 100,000 people, just 500 people. Like, you agree with me that it sounds logical that it shouldn't be difficult to get 500 people to patronize out of 100,000 population. Right? But it's a myth. It's a bedroom economics. You sit down and you calculate it 500 times, bread is now 500, 500 times 500. That's how much? 25,000. So if I can get 25,000 naira per day, multiply by 6 days. Let's say there's a day they didn't do bread. 25,000 times 6. 150,000 in 1 week. Multiply by 4. Multiply by 12. 7.2 million naira. Let's say my margin, after everything, bread, I buy, I mark it up, I should be able to get like 30 or 35%. 30 or 35% of 7.2 million is how much? It's getting interesting. About 2.4 million. How many of us can live on 2.4 million naira per year? If you get 2.4 million, you know what you can do with it. So does that business sound like a good business or not? Fantastic business. Now, but that is the problem. And that's how many of you start business. All my friends are going to resume next month. They will need tops to wear. I'm now selling tops. I'm eating some nerves here because I understand how we think. I've been there. And after consulting for more than 200, 250 business owners, and that, by that, I mean small business owners, I understand virtually how we do a whole lot of our thinking process into business. Because when you understand what business is about, many of you will run away. And you discover that at the end of the day, it's even better to sit in the comfort of a career, grow through the ranks and make money. Rough estimate, how much do you think the CEO of Dangote cement makes yearly? Does anybody have Google there? I want you to, if you have a phone, just type in the highest paid CEO in Nigeria. We have internet now. Pick up your phone and do it. No data. No, you can't tell me that. We have data for TikTok. Oh. Top 10 highest paid CEOs in Nigeria. You'll be shocked. Some CEOs make up to 600 million naira in a year. 531 million naira as salary. Not bonus. It's not inclusive of bonus. Oh. It's not inclusive of traveling out. Oh. So who is propagating that myth that working for someone can never make you rich? So what I'm doing this is because before we go into explaining business and everything, and everybody is attentive, bringing out their pen and writing down, oh, I want to make my business better. Are you even suitable to run a business in the first place? Now, that is not to say you cannot learn the necessary skills, but it requires sacrifice in order to build something that will last. Statistically showing, about 70 to 75% of businesses you start today in Nigeria will not last will not be alive in the next 1 year. Look around you. If you have friends, how many of your friends that you know that they were selling something before? How many of them are still doing it now? Makes you understand how dire it is to run a business. So at least 50% of what I want to do here today and what I'm already doing is correcting wrong impressions and definitions. Because a wrong definition creates false perception. A false perception creates false expectation. False expectation produces ineffectual actions. And ineffectual action is going to hamper your business growth and performance. Are you with me? So you need to understand, what exactly does it mean to run a business? One of the critical things every business owner is always faced with about running a business is, what business should I run? How many of you have been in that place? You know you want to do business, but you're asking yourself, what business should I run, right? And everything is popping in your head. Maybe I should start selling kuli kuli and granuts. Maybe I sell it for my students inside that wall. They will buy it, it will make sense. Maybe I should do this. Maybe I should do that. So there's a lot of confusion. Then it comes down to, okay, if I do this, how am I going to? There's a lot of questions. But the first important thing you need to do is, you need to drop everything and focus. Now, saying focus is very theoretical, and it's become very difficult for you to understand, what does focus mean? Focus basically can be gotten by understanding your value triangle. Every business has it. If your business has not mastered and understood this principle of the value triangle, you are most likely just a glorified trader. Karakata. The value triangle basically looks like this. Sorry, I can't show you this. I would have loved to show you. But it's a triangle, and on it we have 3 parts. We have value, we have problem, we have solution, and we have target market. Now, the 3 things I'm saying are going to pose 3 questions to you. Number 1, what problem are you trying to solve with that business? What problem are you trying to solve? If you cannot answer that question of problem, what problem are you trying to solve, then you cannot essentially build a business that will last. Because then you don't understand what you are trying to solve, create a solution to. Now, when you have answered the question of problem, the next thing is solution. What solution am I preferring to it? And the third one is, who is my target market? Because you cannot create a solution for ghosts. You need to identify who exactly you're trying to create a solution for. And understanding these 3 core things is what will now come together to help you understand your value triangle. Because then you can succinctly explain the value you're bringing to the table. Who runs a business here that want us to run a sharp 2-minute, 1-minute test? You run a business you'd like us to talk about. You would love it. Free consultation, don't worry. The lady on white glasses, she's the first I saw her hands. Yeah, come. Let's give her a round of applause. Because focus can only come from understanding the value of your idea. Come. Focus can what? I want us to chorus it. Focus can clearly come from understanding the value of your idea. Thank you. Give it to her. So what do you do?
I sell.
Sorry, what's your name? Let's start from
My
there.
name is Goodness.
Goodness. So what do you do?
I sell fashion items for ladies and
Fashion items like what fashion designer needs
clothes,
to...
accessories.
Okay, you see, you're not defining it. When you say fashion items, it's too broad. If you go to a co-market and say, I want to buy fashion item, what are they calling fashion item? So your description of your business is not even clear enough. So well, let's start.
Okay, sir.
So what's the problem you are solving with that?
Okay, I'm solving the problem of affordability. Like a lot of people, especially students, they want to buy quality and affordable stuffs, but it's so scary when you go online to check for stuffs. I mean, clothes that should be 5,000 or 6,000, you see them selling for 15,000. So I've tried to bring down the cost so that people can afford it, especially students.
So you are playing in the cheap.
No, not in the cheap affordability. That's the difference.
Affordability.
Yes,
Yeah,
something
it's
you
just,
can
we are
afford.
just repackaging it. But your unique selling point is that you're affordable.
Yes, sir.
So if somebody comes tomorrow and gets something cheaper than what you're selling, your whole business model crumbles.
No, it will not, because
Why?
I already have a target audience that trusts my business and trust what I offer.
So what if I can offer what you're offering at a cheaper price?
I can always make advertisements to get more customers.
Okay. But your customers that you are getting have a competitor that is selling lower than you. You are not getting me.
I get.
Because you're saying you are, the major problem you're trying to solve is affordability. Now, I want you to clearly just follow this so that it's not for you to laugh, for you to understand how deep it is to start a business. Because when you just say, you want to start a business, just run into it. So what's the solution you are creating with that? So you are getting affordable clothes for them. Who is your target market?
Students.
Student is so broad.
I know, like
A PG student is a student, right? And a PG student, most likely who is working, can afford something more than what you are selling. Will she approach you?
Well, I don't just sell low-cost products. I also sell clothes that are like, quite high for people that can afford it.
Okay, so does that not now invalidate the problem you're talking about as affordability?
No. That's why I have clothes and stuffs for all classes, like all range
All
of people.
classes, so you are selling for everybody.
Not for everyone.
No, I'm only following what your words. I'm not changing anything. Am I changing anything? So, see, this is why it is very powerful for you to understand your value triangle. It would have been better if you are telling me, oh, I'm targeting fresh student, part 1 student coming into school who want to feel among. They don't have the money for quality materials. Don't come and boo us with quality material. I get okrika for them and I sell to them at a good price. Fantastic business model. So every time part 1 students are coming, everybody already knows your name. Go and meet. What's the name of your business?
GFS. Goodies Fashion Store.
Rudy.
Goodies Fashion Store.
Oh, Goodies Fashion Store. Now, that's just an example. That doesn't mean that that's what you should do. But I'm saying, if you understand this value triangle, it's even better for you to explain your business. You could, instead of saying I sell fashion items, you will confidently tell me, oh, so I actually solve an issue of confidence. I help to improve the confidence of fresh intake students into the school by providing them affordable cloth that is trendy. Your target market is so defined and niched out. Now, any other person can come to you to buy clothes. Fantastic. But it's not all students. Because the mistake you're making now is what many people also make. Who are you selling to? All women. How women is not a. If by the time I break it down to you, there are about 4 ways you can segment your customers. We have the behavioral, we have the psychographic, we have the geographical, and we have the demographics. It becomes clearer to you that I could pick a client and create a customer segment and create a customer persona for them. My ideal client is someone like Goodies. Her name is potentially Goodies. She falls between the age range of 18 to 22. See, I'm bringing it closer. She's a student of OAU, potentially a fresh year student, either coming in for diploma or coming in for part 1. Now, your target market is getting niched down. Thank you, goodness. Let's give her a round of applause. Now, if you're not going to take anything out of this, ask yourself these 3 questions. What, why, who? Those are the 3 questions of the value triangle. What, why, who? Now, you could play around the value triangle in any way. You could identify a problem, find a solution to it, then look for the target market, right? And that's the traditional way many people run their business. But this way is actually for big businesses that have huge marketing budgets. Because then, you are only trying to play around that, okay, let me just risk it. How many of you have heard the statement, find the gap in the market? Market gap. You find, but you know it's not all market gap you must exploit. Is the gap commercial enough? Is there market in the gap? Because if I am hungry or thirsty, but I don't drink water, what I want to drink is Monster energy drink. How many of us are here? Maybe about 100 people are here. I want Monster. He wants Monster. Maybe 5 of us want Monster. There is a gap, right? And everybody that is here is selling water. But just 5 of us out of 100 want Monster. You don't sell Monster. But this is a problem. I can solve it. I will go to buy Monster. 5 Monster is not even up to a pack. So you're not going to get it on bulk cost price. Essentially, you will take whether your Legacy Benz or bike, your bike W or your Coropace. You take it to go and buy something at probably, they sell it for 500. You bought it 500. You brought it here. And then, because I just said I want Monster, he said, oh, because I'm selling it to you, I want to mark up and make money. I'm selling at 600. I just like, why should I buy from you at 600? I will go outside and buy it at Ojaja Mall here. You've identified a problem. You've created a solution, but your solution is not marketable. So, the best way smart business owners run their business now is you start from the target market and identify their problem they have and then sell the solution to them. Does that sound smart? You have people that you already identified, you identify the problem, and you are selling the solution to them rather than, oh, I've created a solution, I see a problem. In fact, the best thing you need as a business owner is starving crowd, people that are hungry. If you run, I think Akin Labi was the one that wrote this in his book, that if you have a restaurant, what will you pray for? You have a restaurant that sells food. What will you pray for as a business owner? Everybody kept on giving example, oh, I'll pray for good sales. I'll pray for quality staff. I'll pray. Then he said, you know what? I would rather pray for a starving crowd. What's a starving crowd? Now, starving is different from hungry. Do you agree with me? You don't agree? I will break it down to you. I will use pidgin to explain it. When you say, I am hungry, you say, at the age. Abi? It's like I'm hungry. But when you are really starving, you don't say, it's like I'm hungry. You say, hunger, they wire me. Hunger, they buy me. Eh? At that point, the taste is not the most important. I remember when we were in school back then. When you come back from class, somebody cook one bad beans. God bless Awo and Fudge boys. Or Angola boys. Now them they cook past. Rubbish. You enter, they've cooked the food. It smells horrible. It tastes horrible. But you are just trekking down from Ajose back to Angola. Amen. Ajose to Angola in hot sun around 1 p.m. And you met that beans. Maggi is in excess, salt is in excess. You finish it. Oh boy, that your food no sweet too. Say you're a bastard. Tomorrow you not eat my food. Starving crowd. Those are the kind of people you need for your business. Raving fan. I don't like working. I told my staff, as a consulting firm, I don't want to work with first-time business owners. My ideal clients are business people that have failed before. See, they are very sweet clients. They need my service. They need my help. When they come, they are begging, please, sir, I want you to do it properly. Anything you want. Sweet place to be as a business owner. When client is telling you that, it's not about the money. It's just tell me anything you want. I need this solution. That's the best way to play. When you are at that place where you are playing and you are saying, please come and buy from me, where is goodness? Goodness has left us. No, sorry. Oh, you've left the hall. You don't like it again. Okay, so if you have people that, rather than saying, oh, I'm affordable, people that need clothes, is different. See these two scenarios. I sell clothes to people that just want to wear clothes. But rather, and compare it to someone that sells socks in front of a school, public school, where they have just put a order that you cannot enter school without socks. Find your starving crowd. When you identify your starving crowd, sell them anything they want. Listen to me. What did I say? As long as it is legal. And it's not egoist. Because that's the trend among youth now. And that's what they use delivery bikes to do nowadays. You'll be shocked. Find your starving crowd and sell them what they want. Notice my use of word. I did not say need. What they... I don't want to delve into sales, but there are two reasons people buy. Emotional and logical. But you know the funniest thing about human being? We are not logical. We are emotional beings. So, 80% of the time, we will always buy due to emotion. Ask yourself, that phone you are using now, why did you buy it? You can promise yourself and say, oh, it's because it's the cheapest. It's a lie. There were cheaper phones than that. You did not buy it. We are driven by emotions. And if you can identify that emotion is driven by want, human beings want what they don't need. We want what we eventually don't need. You are not a, how do I call it? You are not a big company that wants to sell people need, package it as want. Find that thing that the crowd wants and sell it to them. So you can easily pivot, especially when you are starting out in business. Because it is hard to run a business in the country. Now, it is harder if you are selling what people don't really want. The value what? I want to know people that are following me. The value what? What does it contain? The three things it contains. Very fantastic. Problem, solution, and target market. And that is what you need to understand. Now, I'm going to round up with this. And we're going to, I need somebody, we're going to demonstrate this together. Who again? I want to call a guy now. We've used a lady. That's the only man that is raising up his hand. Yes. Other are ladies. Or is it safe to call you people women? What's the difference? Because all of you are smiling now. What's the difference between women and ladies? Yes, so, hey, please, listen. So let's look at him, face them. I'm going to use this man to describe to you how a business really operates. And I want you to take that away. If you're going to run your business any day, anytime, anywhere, see this demonstration and remember what it takes to run a business. When you understand the value triangle, then I want to come to how your business operates. Come on. So that I don't get out of here too much. So when you see this man, what do we call this? This what? The head. What's inside the head? The brain. What's here? Chest. What's inside the chest? Start noting it down. So we've written brain, heart. We are going somewhere. What are the things that stand out of his hands like this? Veins, right? Write it down. What flows through it? Blood. So blood, write it down. Your veins, write it down. Making how many things now? 4. What is this? What is this? Arms and hand and leg. Write it together. Making 5 things. What does that make up of? That's an human being with some other things, of course. But those are the 5 things I want to focus on. Thank you so much. So we are going into it quickly in the next 5 minutes. What does your brain do? Please, let's pass the mic around. It's going to be interactive. These are very smart people I have in this hall. What does your brain do? Who wants to take the mic? Give it to her quickly.
You think and reason with your brain.
The brain can reason
And think.
and think.
Yes.
Okay. I need something. I've not gotten there. Who else wants to say something? Who are the science students in the house? Or it's only chemicals you people know how to mix?
It controls the whole body.
It controls the whole body.
Yeah.
So what is that thing that controls the whole body that we call it? There's a name they call it.
Central nervous system, right?
CNS. Let's give her a round of applause. Now, the brain is the seat of everything that happens in your body. Why do people get paralyzed? Because their brain refuses to send signal to that part of the body. The brain is the central nervous system. Now, when it comes to business, the brain of your business is what we call the business model. And your business model is essentially how your business operates, functions, and creates value. There are 9 components of your business model. Write it down and go and Google it. We have the value proposition, customer segments. I'm going too fast. Value proposition, customer segments, channels, customer relationship, key partners, key activities, key resources, cost structure, and revenue stream. That is essentially what we call a business model. And that is the brain of your business. So, if the brain of human is where every decision comes from, your business model is where every business decision comes from. Who is following me? Is it getting too complicated? We are not talking. Do you want me to simplify it further? The second one, when you have a full grasp of your business model, what are the 9 things I call again? Let's chorus it. This girl. Note her very well. She's the one that sits in the front and everybody borrows her notes, right? Now, the second key thing is the art, right? That's the number 2 I ask you to write down, right? The art. What does the art do? Give the mic to someone again. Don't give it to her again. She's not the only smart person we have. She had to touch her heart to understand how it functions.
All right. So the heart is responsible
worry,
for pumping of blood in the body.
Let's give him a round of applause. Thank you for balancing it out. You people want to be making me scared that we only have smart ladies, that men are not smart. I'm happy. Thank you. So, The heart does what? It pumps blood. What happens if your heart stops beating today? Huh? That's the... So the art of every business is what we call marketing. What did I call it? Marketing is not advertising. Advertising is a subset of marketing. But marketing is how you create value and get that value to the target market. That's a simple definition of marketing. I can give you the textbook definition, but it makes no difference if you don't understand the concept. Every business is dead the day they stop marketing. The day marketing activities stop in a business, that's the day the business dies, not the final day they stop making money. Your business is not a business until you have identified a commercial market that will pay for the value you offer and mapped out strategies to reach them. And listen to this last one. Strategies to reach them and keep them coming back. Repeated customers. The concept you can take note of in marketing include things like your leads, your conversion rate, average transaction value, number of transactions, and margin. Those are the things you need to be concerned about when you're doing your marketing. These are very robust things. Each of these could be a topic for 1 week. I just want you to understand the concept and use your Google. I call Google the ultimate truth finder. There are 2 G's you need in the world to succeed. You need one above and you need one here. God and Google. God, why 1 G is for revelation, 1 is for information. So when God gives you the revelation, Google gives you the information, you need to make that revelation into something tangible. G and G. Inspiration, information. The third one is, what's the third part of the body we mentioned? Blood. It's not vein, it's blood. What does blood do? No, not you again now. Let's do somebody else. What does blood do to the body? Quickly.
The blood carries useful material to the body.
It carries useful materials
To the body.
through the body.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Now, the third thing you can liken that to in a business is your finance. Is your cash flow is king. Have you heard that statement before? Cash flow is king. And the cash flow is what we can term as your finance. Cash flow is the king in every business. Because when you run out of cash, the business will die. No matter how innovative the business model is, and no matter how cutting edge your marketing strategies are, it will die. A leak is enough to sink a ship. So if you don't manage your cash flow very well, the business is dead. You are doing business. It's the same account that you are using to buy spices food, buy Banwi food, go to New Booker, go and buy clothes. It's still that same account you are using to collect sales money. At the end of the day, you cannot differentiate your sales from your profit. You don't know margin. You are eating everything. You are discovering that business is not progressing. That's because you don't have a proper grasp of your finance. No matter how small your business is, if you cannot afford to register your business a limited liability, a business name of 20,000 naira will enable you to open an account. If you cannot open any account, go online. If you don't have any registration, there are solutions, fintech solutions now, that allows you to open simple account for your business in your business name. Solutions like Bumper. You go on it and you just create your account and everything. They give you a storefront. Even makes it interesting for your customers to buy from you. So that money is going into a separate account. If you cannot afford anything, open another personal account that does not have ATM. That is different. That every sales goes into. And when you have to do expenses from it, you go through your app. Notice I said don't use card. Never use card. can be very dangerous. You will not know the spirit that is pushing you. Just bring out the car. Especially men, you have gone out, you are enjoying yourself. Just, somebody like Shegun Johnson is already telling you, you are feeling yourself. You are dancing. You just bring out your card. You are feeling rich. You are feeling rich on money that is not your money. Debtors will come for you. Then the next one we talked about is what? The veins. The arteries and veins. We call that processes and systems in business. In order for, imagine your blood is just flowing through, it's just in your body, like a tank, and it's not going through any pipe. What will happen? Can you live? Medically, it's not possible. So you need a conduit to pass this thing through. And that's what we call process and systems. Businesses die because they have not put in place systems and processes. In order for a business to grow responsibly, there must be a tight system that makes the quality of output consistent. Have you eaten at a booker before and you go there the next day? It looks like did they make mistake yesterday? Like yesterday was so sweet that you go to this like, no, it can't be the same person that cooked this food. That's because there's no systems. There's no process. There's no SOP, standard operating procedure. When you pour 2 tablespoons, when we see that, we say, no, in our own culture, we keep on adding salt until our ancestors tell us to stop adding it. There's a reason behind add 1 tablespoon, add 2 cups, add 3 cups. They are creating a process, and that's why you can never get the taste of that effort that your grandma can make before she died. Because the process was not documented. You try as much as possible. You are using the same ingredient. You will get different results. Because there's no process. In fact, when you see the cooking process of Oyinbo, you will see cook for 10 minutes under 50 degrees Celsius heat. If you take that degree, that heat to 55 or 60, you will not get the same result. That is process and systems. Systems are the conduit that carry vital resources to all components of the business. A business without a good system is like a leaking bowl and would end up losing all the juice in the system. Are we together? Lastly, what's the last one? Arms and legs can be likened to your people. Every business needs people. There's no self-made man anywhere. You are a product of people. You have been greatly helped by people. Even if God has helped you, God will help you through men. Right or right? You don't have option. You have to say right. Because I hold the mic. So, every successful business is built with people and around people. No matter how great your business model is, marketing, financial, or system, your growth is determined by the people in your business. And if you see financiers, venture capitalists, private equities, they don't give money to you because of a fantastic business model. If you have a fantastic business model, it's an added advantage. They give money to you because of your people. Who are the kind of people taking this project on? Because from experience, you know that if you run a business, what you're essentially saying is, I have opened my shop to problems and difficulties. Come and visit me. I am smart enough to solve you. So, if I want to give money to you, I want to be sure that you have the right people that have the right capacity in order to deliver the kind of result that you need. Are we together? So, what are the 5 things you need in your business? Let's use the human part that I mentioned. Then we'll come back to the other part of it. Brain. Yeah. So, what does that mean in the business? Let's go back from the top again. Give yourself a round of applause. Give yourself a round of applause. So essentially, I think I'm just going to stop here because most of the things we want to do will require much more time. But I'm going to give you this definition of a business. Anytime you go outside and they ask, what's a business? A business is a commercial, profitable enterprise that works without you. Hello. that works without you. So, and on that note, I'm going to charge you that as much as possible, entrepreneurship is not just the way to become rich. If money is what you are looking for in life, there are many ways to make money. But if you're going to run business, then equip yourself with the necessary skills for you to stand out in business and be able to grow a business that will last the test of time. Thank you so much for having me, and I will take any questions.
Praise God. Praise God. Praise God. Please clap for him if you were impacted by that session. Appreciate God in his life. Are there any questions? Are there any ones that have questions? You have a question? Sir, we have a question for you. Please come forward.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Good afternoon, sir. You said something when you were about to round up. You said when VCs, when they give you money, you said you don't consider your business model, that what they consider is your market. Like, does it, I think you eventually balance it, but I just want to ask if they don't, like, look at your, does it mean that your business model at times, like, might not be valid if you have the market for it, if you have the market for that business? Like,
No, I can hear him, and you can hear me, right? Okay, so, is that all? Okay, so, when I said the most important thing they look at is your people, doesn't mean, look at the choice of word, the most important. Doesn't mean others are not important. But when it comes down to it, business model can change. Marketing strategy can change when you get to the market. But the ability to adapt and create results is dependent on the people that are there. So if you have people that are not smart enough to know when this is not working, let's try it a new way. It doesn't make any sense. So of course, they will consider that your idea is smart, is novel, is fine. But if that's all you have and you cannot show that you have the competence, the capacity, and the capability through your people, it makes no sense for me to invest in you. And notice the choice of word. They invest in people. They don't invest in businesses. Does that answer your question?
Thank you, sir. Are there any other questions? Sir, there's still one more question. Please come forward if you have questions.
All right, sir. So the question I want to ask is, you want to start a business. Starting from nothing to something can actually be difficult. So in starting, as regarding finance, every investor will want something, like this, want something in return. So we advise someone that is starting a business to start from an approach of approaching investors to invest in the business, that they get something in return, or just approach from a standpoint of getting people to fund your business without getting any return from it.
So, straightforward, starting up your business, ensure you do something first. Have a proof of concept. It doesn't matter. I tell people, my idea is so big, I cannot scale it down. If you cannot scale it down to the part that you can fund just to have a proof of concept, then you are not ripe enough for that business. That's one. Two, is also that there are so many ways you can go about starting up your business. There are grants. How many of you have applied for Tony Elumelu before? It's still open till March. I think it closes on the 1st of March. How many of you have registered already? So those are opportunities. There are grants out there. But even the grants, nobody wants to give money to someone who sweet mouth. All talk, no action. If you believe so much in your dream, can you do something to fund it and start it? People have sold their houses. People have sold their cars. People have sold their laptops. People have sold their phone to fund what they believe in. So what do you believe in? If you believe in it so much, then do something to start it. When you start, then help will come. If you even notice the principle of God, He multiplies what is in your hand. When He wanted to create the miracle of the 5 loaves and 2 fishes. Jesus could have said, let there be fish and bread. He said, no, bring me fish. What do you have? That was the question. And they brought it to him, and God multiplied. So always remember that every day. 0 times 1 is what? 0 times 1 million is what? 0 times 1 billion is what? 0 times 1 trillion is what? 1 times 1 is what? 1 times 2 is what? 1 times 1 million is what? So liking the multiplication factor you have constant as your efforts. So it doesn't matter what God brings to the table for you as grace. If you don't bring anything to the table, the result will always get to nothing. So treat starting your business equally.
There's still one more question.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir.
Please, others that have questions should please come forward.
Yeah, you said we need to have an account for our business that doesn't have ATM, so that we won't spend money anyhow. But sir, there are some people like us that the money we make from our business is what is our means of survival, which means we eat from it. Now, my question is, what are your advice for us? Since we are going to have an account that we won't touch for the business, how then are we going to survive since we lean on the business to survive?
Okay, so when you are doing your business, you buy and sell, right? When you decide to buy, how much is if what you buy, you are buying it for 800 and you sell for 1,000, how much is the business money out of that money? How much is your profit? 200. But that's not your net profit yet. Accountant will tell you that. You now break it down again. Out of that 200 naira, how much data did you spend to make that thing happen if you are selling online? How much is your electricity? How much is your bill? So at the end of the day, if what you're going to be removing from your business is going to be weekly, don't make it daily. Bring all the money together. How much did you use to buy it? How much did you produce from it? You are left with 200 naira. Maybe 200 naira multiplied by 100. That's how much? That's 20,000. So out of that 20,000, you now come back in 1 week. How much was my transportation? How much was my office? How much was my data? The money that remains is what you will use to eat. You can transfer that out of the company account to your personal account. Whatever you cannot spend out of it is because if you decide to be eating from the money, the business will never grow. You will still stay at the subsistence level. Last question.
Yeah, 2 more questions.
Thank you so much. I really understand. I really thank you for this teaching. And to the glory of God, last 3 years now, I've been running a business like personal with someone, phone engineer, and I repair phone. So my question is, how can let me personally the question, handle some customers in such a way that, because I see the business, when I provide a solution, there are some people you can negotiate with them that with their status, this is my money, this is how much I want to collect for this thing. So how can you persuade those kind of people in such a way that at the end of the day, some of them they even owe you, like being the familiarity, like I will pay you, don't worry, I'll pay you after rendering the service. So with those people, how can someone grow with that kind of business, and how can you handle them, especially your friends who are around you?
Okay, so quick one is very simple. Collect your money before service. Money for hand, back for grant. It's a rule. If it's going to be difficult for you to do it by yourself, they say they want to repair phone, refer them to your friend that also repair phone to go and repair it there, and focus on people that will pay you money to do your business. It's not fight. It's street. There is no business sense in that. It's just a personal decision, unless you are very comfortable working for free. If you're not comfortable working for free, make processes in your system to make it ensure. Maybe before you do their phone, you first do a paper. You print the paper where you will write, this is what is wrong with your phone, this is what is wrong with your phone, this is the total cost of what we will do. Pay for us to go and buy what we need to buy. If they don't pay, their phone sits there. You've not done my phone, there's no money to buy material. It's simple. So you create like an invoice paper where you give to them and they have to make payment before you now go and do the work. Are we good? Okay.
Still one more question.
Okay, just one question. Yeah. So how do you align your people to marketing and finance?
How do you align
Your people. Since one major takeaway is that your people are the most important parts of the business. How do you align your people with finance and marketing?
Okay, so because of if you're a small business owner, I mean you're just starting out or you started out, the business is not too big, it's advisable, very, very important that your business, you are in control of everything, like you understand everything. 1, 2, anybody you are employing, a sense of ownership. Give them a sense of ownership. Don't be an helicopter boss. Oh, we want to do this. Take their ideas. Always hold meeting. This is the next step we want to take. What's your input? What do you think we should do? That's how to align them, not just with people and finance, with every part of your business. Make them part of the process of the solution creation, and they will thank you for it. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very much, sir.